Well, there's one question. Could you speak but given like Carmilla and like the fan base that you've now gone, especially because like she was talking a little earlier with Lise about Dom coming over and like the Winona Earp fans coming over, so you guys have built up a real big like LGBT fan base now. Could you feel like there's like a lot of pressure for you, particularly going forward now that Carmilla's done, like any of the roles that you're going to take on going forward in your career? Like, do you feel like there's a lot of pressure to always be like super representative or like any of the roles that you choose?
Well, I enjoy the opportunities that I have to provide positive on-screen representation for the queer community because I'm a member of the queer community. So I love that. And people do often ask me, do you ever get worried about being typecast as a queer person? And I think to every queer character I've played, and they've all been so vastly different, and I don't think straight actors are like, oh, I'm worried about being typecast as straight. Because I'm like, queer people are all very different, and they all have very different interests.
They're still people.
Images, So I'm always like, no. I mean, if I was constantly playing like a broody vampire forever, like, I love Carmilla and I'd be happy to play her forever. But I mean, if I, went to my next project and it was like the same kind of thing, maybe that would get tiresome. But I never get tired of playing queer, and I hope that I get to continue providing positive queer representation. And I'm lucky that I've had those opportunities. But I also hope that I get to play characters that have a positive effect on people or touch people and move people in any capacity, because I think there are also straight characters that people identify with as well. Maybe I want to tell stories, and I want to tell stories that resonate with folks. So yeah, I'd say that as I shift to roles behind the camera as well. When I get to create my own content, I certainly feel a responsibility to provide positive on-screen representation. That's something that I am working on and do currently. But I just wrapped a movie yesterday. I just came in from Chicago, and I played a queer character.
How was your experience in Chicago?
It was great.
Yeah, I just went there a little while ago. Did you get to try any of the food over there, like the deep dish for sure?
I did.
Yeah,
it was pretty intense.
Yeah.
New York is still better.
Yeah, I was like New York pizza. Born and raised New Yorker.
Yeah, I have to say I prefer New York pizza, and I'm not just saying that because I'm here. It's deep dish was like a little too bready for me.
Yeah, it's legit pie.
It's like butter cheese.
Yeah.
Alright, so in Harry Potter, there's a magical treat called blood pops. They're blood-flavored lollipops. Do you think Carmilla would love them, or do you think she'd like something else from the series?
Oh, I think she would totally love them, because Carmilla is such a huge chocolate fiend, and she was constantly stealing Laura's chocolate all the time, but I feel like it probably tasted a bit off to her because she was a vampire, and then as a human we see her indulge in a lot of chocolate as well. So I definitely think that combo of the blood and the sweetness would totally be her jam.
You guys have a really active and loyal fandom. Have you noticed, is it still the same level of interaction with the series ending? I know the movie's coming out, so that helps keep it up, but you guys still getting the same kind of interactions that you were when the series was ongoing and there was actually new stuff for the fans to talk about?
Yeah, it's only grown and grown, and it's only become even more positive. So I'm super lucky, and it's really important to me when I have time that I give time back to fans as well. We wouldn't have been able to make this series last for so long, and then we wouldn't have been able to make the film, which was really partially funded by fans, if it weren't for them. So I definitely say that it's only blossomed, and I'm excited to see where it goes and how the fandom grows after the film. Hopefully, even new people join into the Cream Puff family.
So before, what drew you initially to this project, and before coming on, did you know anything about the original novella, and after, did you read about it?
I didn't know about the original novella when I first saw the breakdown for the series, but then I obviously researched it and thought it was very interesting. I've always been a huge fan of vampires. I'd always wanted to play a queer character. I got to kill two birds with one stone. I think what really drew me to this particular project is, one, I was familiar with some of Smoke Bomb's work, and I knew that their shows always did very well. this surpassed my wildest dreams. Had no idea that Carmilla was going to do quite as well as it did. But that was a nice draw because I knew it'd be in good hands. And then also that so many women were on board, that it was produced and written by women. That was like such a selling point. I was like, yeah, I want to be part of this project. But even just the initial description of Carmilla and the breakdown, which I wish I could remember, it was actually quite long, and usually you don't see breakdowns that long. Like, it was like a paragraph. Instantly drew me to her. Like, I said, I have to audition for this character. I absolutely have to. And I was like, yes. And it's so rare that I feel that way, because so often, I mean, I think it's getting better, but so often you'll see breakdowns for female characters and it's like fun-loving and pretty. And the fact that, you know, this like had so much weight, and Jordan did such a beautiful description of her character. It was like able to turn on the charm at the drop of a hat, languid, sarcastic, but also like capable of profound loneliness, and like all of these like beautiful descriptors. And I was like, oh my gosh, that's me. I want to do this.
I'm curious to know what you think about the current state of queerness in media in general, and how Carmilla sort of fits into that. I've been on, and I've been to countless panels where they discuss that there's still a long way to go, and things moving, but they're moving slowly. So I'm just curious to know what you think about the state overall and what direction it's going into.
I think that there's still a lot of work to do. I do think that it's getting better. I think that it's really important to have shows that are strictly for a queer audience. However, I'm really interested in shows that appeal to a mainstream audience but just have really cool, likable, chill queer characters. I think that's where it needs to go as well. I think we need to see, you know, queer male characters that aren't like the token fashion lover or very flighty and fun-loving, and like, you know, the lead girl's, you know, gay best friend. I think we need to see lesbians that aren't evil or who don't die, and or aren't like home wreckers. Like, I think it'd be so great to just see
them portrayed as people.
Exactly. And I think that we do have a long way to go. And I think it's important to have, you know, maybe some particular episodes that address their sexuality, but I feel like we need to move past that. Like, coming out stories are very important, and they were important to tell at a time when people were trying to illustrate the struggles that queer folk have had, and those struggles are still there. But now it's like, can we just integrate it into regular media, so that maybe straight folks who like love a show and fall in love with the character are like, oh cool, they're gay and it's no big deal.
Right.
That would be great. That would be a dream. Or, you know, or pan or bi or whatever. Or, you know, I'd actually love to see a bi or pansexual character, selfishly, you know, as someone who identifies as fluid, that isn't like a promiscuous homewrecker. I think it'd be really cool to like, or like doesn't leave a woman for a man, or like something like that. Like just someone who's just a person.
Right.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I agree with that. So you've done the 3 seasons of Carmilla, now the movie, and sort of like the end of it. So if there's one message that you'd want your fans to take away from Carmilla, what would that be? Just to take away from the or like the whole series.
I think when you are honest with yourself and you're honest about who you are, that is when you can really grow and really flourish. That's something I've learned playing Carmilla, even when I auditioned for Carmilla, but also I hope that the success of Carmilla is reflective of that, because it was very honest. It had a queer producer, we created for a queer audience, it wasn't subtext, we were all really open about ourselves. I think that, you know, even as actors, everyone's been very genuine, and I hope that people take that away from like Carmilla as a whole, and as a fandom, and as a, you know, I guess a brand. And in terms of the like message from the actual storyline, I'd say, you know, that it's okay to ask for help, and it's okay to lean on other people and to do things together. Because I think that's something that Laura and Carmilla really learned from each other. I think they both were really stubborn for a long time, and they could do everything on their own, but they were way stronger together. And then even with their friends, and we see this in the film with the whole Scooby Gang, it's like they're so much stronger together, and like all of their differences and like the diversity within their friend group make them a stronger team. So I hope that people see that. Yeah.
Do you have a favorite fan encounter or experience?
It's so difficult for me to just choose one.
Right here.
Right here. Right now. You guys are fans of me? What? No. It's so difficult for me to just choose one because I'm like incredibly lucky that my fan experiences are so positive. It's like 99.9% unbelievably positive. You know, and I like try not to choose favorites as well. I think I like don't want to say because I don't want to like make people feel left out. One of my favorites though, and actually it's a little bit weird. One of our fans who is quite known in the queer community passed away in December, and she was here at Comic-Con last year, and she was dressed as me, and she gave me like a little fang like pin. And I got to interact with her because we had some mutual friends like quite a bit, and I still have some of her fan art, and she was such a like vibrant young woman. So yeah, I really hope we dedicate the film to her. I don't know how to make that happen, but I think that would be cool. Yeah.
Okay. Hard to follow that.
I know,
but,
emotional. I'm sorry. I brought it down, guys. Brought it down. No, I was just thinking about that. I was like, oh, she had such a good like costume last year, and I was like, this is so weird being at a con because she would come to everything. So it's like weird being at one like not seeing her like in the audience, but it's been really cool to see how like the fandom, how people have become friends through it, and how like they've really supported each other, and even through difficult times like that, how like new friendships have blossomed. And I love seeing it online where people are like creating this amazing community, and people are just so like kind to each other, and it's so cool. And it'll be people who are like all the way in Australia being friends with people in Norway, and it's just like it's so amazing that it's just made the world like it's created like a brighter space in this world. It's really cool.
He gave the wrap-up signal, so I don't have to follow that. So good.
What was your question?
Oh, I was just going to ask if you had like a favorite scene in the movie that you were excited about the fan seeing. I know you can't really get too spoilery or anything like that, but
I love all of my scenes where I get to have intimate moments with Elise because I really love working with her, and I love our chemistry, and I think that I do some of my best work with her. Also did like love working with Dom. We like had a really good chemistry and like a great connection. And the scene I was most nervous about, I was also weirdly like excited about at the same time. But I won't say what that is until the movie comes out.
Do you think we'll see you on Winona Earth maybe? Crossover?
That would be amazing. I'd love to just be on it, no crossover action. Just being on it would be great. Let's just put that into the ethos. Or the atmosphere.
Coming up in the movie. Are we seeing you by
Ether, that's the word. Sorry, grammar. Ethos, that's not the right word.
We'll be seeing you by Kotex? Or
No, not in the film at all.
Okay. That's gonna be sad.
Could mean more sexy freedom time.